Okay.
Okay, it's getting near 1:15 in the morning for both of us who are both West Coast. How are you doing, Erika? Welcome to the CSM interview series.
I am doing good. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. You're very popular, it turns out. I've been hearing about you for a long time. This is actually the first time I've met you, even though we've crossed paths at eVegas, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't think we've actually met at Vegas, though. I don't remember anyway.
Yeah. Um, but I've been hearing about you for a long time. Is that because you were a DJ for Eve Radio?
Yes, I have. That's actually how I started with Eve. I found I found out about Eve through Eve Radio. Um, but yeah, I am a
How did
DJ. I'm also.
how did that happen? Did you were you listening
I
to?
was well before I came to Eve Radio. I was with Total Gaming Radio, which was a sister station to Eve Radio.
Mhm.
Um, and we all share a general staff channel for all the stations within the network. And the DJs for Eve Radio were like conversing with each other about certain things that were going on with Eve. I don't remember the exact topic, but I remember it sounded interesting to me. And so I started asking about it. They referred me to where they had me join also the main Eve Radio channel, and just one thing after another. I started up Eve. I said I'm going to give this a try. I started up Eve. It was my interesting first attempt was just me logging in and then seeing this tutorial pop up, and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I undock, I get blown up, and that was that. Yeah. And then, but I still stuck around the channel because I mean, it just kind of fascinated me because it wasn't like other MMOs that traditional MMOs, I should say,
Mhm.
it was just fascinating. So I stuck around, and then eventually I tried it again, and I actually did some of the tutorial, and I also got a lot of help from Eve Radio listeners and DJs, and that's how I started.
So it sounds like
So
you were part of the community before you were part of the game.
exactly,
Interesting. Usually it's the other way around. What fascinated you about Eve?
it just it was different. Um, I've always played like the traditional MMOs like WoW. There was also one called Maple Story. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 2D MMO, like anime stylish kind of feel. Um, there was also RuneScape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody knows RuneScape, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of like my experience, and it was different. Um, and I guess that's why I liked it, and also the scenery. It was just everything was just so beautiful than I can ever imagine.
Yeah.
Um, Even back then, the graphics were just amazing. Um, so,
If I remember back then, the graphics were kind of potato mode, but
but
they
they
still
still look
yeah,
good to me. I
yeah.
mean,
I mean,
so it
planets
impressed me.
planets look like moons.
This is coming from like just
Well, wait a minute.
wow, yeah.
You started when?
2011.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong because the
It
new.
wasn't too bad. I mean, it was. It's not nothing compared to what it is now, but it was still pretty impressive in my books.
I may be wrong because I think the planets were changed out before then. and the nebulas came pretty quickly after that. But do you remember old nebulas, or was that
Mm,
like
no,
Dixie was all red? It was like just a red nebula. Okay,
no.
so maybe the nebulas changed before you came, and in that case, yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful place. Uh, but that's what kept you around. It was mysterious, beautiful. You liked the people, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it was just everybody was just so helpful to me. I expected to get trolled because every like if like a rookie comes into trade chat and WoW, you expect to get trolled. Um, but I didn't have that feeling. It felt more like just felt more like a community, like it should be. So
Yeah.
everybody was just there helping, helping this little girl out, this poor little newbie. I'm
What
like, what does this button do? Is it okay if I push it?
What did you think when you realized there just weren't that many females around?
What was that?
What did you think when you realized there weren't many females playing this game?
I didn't really realize it till later on. I mean, with Eve Radio, there were a couple. Or I think there was two female DJs. There was DJ Sam, and there was one other. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really realize it at the time. Um, but it doesn't really bother me, I guess. I mean, we all play this game together. I don't
Yeah.
think it really matters which gender you are.
Now
So,
you actually did people know that you were female because you were on the radio or your voice, or
um,
was that already established when you started playing?
what was that?
Was was it already established that you were a female when you started playing
Yeah.
because you were on
Because
the
I was
radio?
on their sister station, so
Yeah.
people had. I mean, there's people that were or have already heard my voice.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple that didn't because they never listened to my shows. So it's like, who is this random person? But
Yeah. I know.
I never really. It's never something that I really like announce. I mean, because I don't really feel like there's a reason to announce it. I mean, we're just all here enjoying playing this game. So,
Yeah. No, the reason I ask is because you are an interesting case in that you came into the game already established as a community personality, and then as a female, and people knew you were female because they could hear your voice on Eve Radio, that sort of thing. So I wonder if that was if you got treated and welcomed differently and stuff.
the listeners didn't really know because this is Eve Radio. There weren't that many listeners that had listened to Total Gaming Radio at the time,
Mhm.
um, so they didn't really know who I was, which is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm nobody special. Um, so I don't think I really gotten any weird treatment, quote unquote, until I actually started DJing on E Radio.
Hmm.
And then people were like, oh my gosh, it's a girl. It's a girl. It's like,
Run, run.
it's like, um, okay.
um, and so then where did your career take you after you just kind of hung around amazed by the place? What did you end up doing?
I ended up going, I mean, I ended up pretty much going into like industrial stuff. Like I was like just mining and um, just and I guess it's weird for me to like pick up something like manufacturing or crafting, I should say, like
Hmm.
compared, what they call it in other games.
Right.
Because in other games, I hated crafting. I absolutely despise. If it was crafting, I stayed completely 110% away from it.
Hmm.
I don't want to have anything to do with it. But with Eve, it was different. Um, it was just the idea that everything that you build, even if it's some Tech One module or ammo, everything has a purpose. You know, it's it's not going to be phased out. It's like what you build can it be potentially be used for like a big fight. It's just that mindset that what you do has an impact in some way, or it can have an impact in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just kind of like how I started to fall in love with it.
Hmm.
Um, and then it just kind of went from there. Um, when I joined my current corp, this was back 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I don't remember now. It's when I actually started to get more and more into it because when I joined my current corp, I had a couple people that were actually teaching me like high level stuff, like the T2 production, which I did pretty much nothing of at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And so it just kind of like kept going up from there and there, and so that's what I do.
So you work with. It looks like you've done a number of things in nullsec. So it sounds like you're very much a group player
Hmm.
and like being a part of a group. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I enjoy, um, yeah, definitely being a part of a group, you know, helping each other out, and just we're kind of like a little family, I guess you can say now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I do really enjoy it.
And you also did logistics, right? So you were moving equipment in and out of.
Yes, and I actually still do that. I run um, the jump freighter service for Army of New Eden. Um, I've actually been doing logistics for about 2 years now, give or take, I think. I don't remember when I exactly started, but it's been around there. Yeah.
So you still like it?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's I kind of like to say that it makes me feel like Santa Claus. I don't know why. It's just like I mean, it's obviously their stuff, but it's just like I bring it from Cheetah and bring it out to Nullsec, and then when I deliver it, and then it's just like Santa's come. I know I'm weird, but
Yeah.
people like my weirdness, I guess.
No, that's nice. You like to deliver the happiness.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is it about CSM that it's attracted you? Why would you run for CSM?
Um, well, I mean, ever since that I've started the game, people have always been helpful to me. Just it's just this community has made such a positive impact on me, and I want to be able to give back somehow. Um, and that I mean, I don't. It's hard to put it in words, but giving back to the community in the sense of being a voice to be able to talk about with CCP directly on things that are coming up and features and whatnot, and also um, not only industry but also an area that hasn't really had any representation of, which is accessibility. Um, and I really feel
Why does that interest you?
I just feel like I would be like I would be good at it. I feel like I would be able to have an impact, on the game and just and things going forward and help just
Why is disability is something that you are interested in, and it's something very personal to you. Why is that?
it's for accessibility.
Yeah. For starters, you have a hearing disability. Is that right?
Yes, I have single-sided deafness. Um, I'm deaf completely on my right ear, but my other ear, my better ear, is um, is it's not very good either. It's moderate, kind of. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
it's
so
good.
I
It's
do
good enough
have.
for this interview. You can hear me.
I have to boost you up all the way. So
I'll try to talk as loud as I can.
uh, trust me, I have like everything up right now. but it's one of those. It's an area that hasn't had any representation. You know, there's a lot of things that Eve can do to help players with disabilities. Um, and like in the recent dev blog, um, we had about um, the scanning user interface changes, and we had like it's like it's like I'm trying to think off the. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You have red and green,
Yeah, yeah,
different
and it's
colors. Yeah.
just there's people. You have the different types. I mean, I'm not colorblind, but I do have friends that are colorblind, so I try to look at things from like different perspectives
Mm-hmm.
than normal. And when I see this, and I'm like, I know that there's people that are gonna have trouble with this because when it comes to color blindness, there's like three different main ones, and red, green, and blue. And you have these spheres that there's gonna be like people with color blindness are gonna have a hard time making these things out, and there's no option to really change these spheres. It's just set. You know?
Right, right. So you're saying you would have been someone that would have thought of these things that other
Yes,
people wouldn't have even considered that being an issue.
yes. Like I would have been bringing up about how it would be beneficial to have options to change these colors. For those that need those options.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that is that one of the motivators for you running for CSM?
For disability.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is one of the motivators. Yeah.
but it's
Just
not the only one. It sounds
no,
like.
it's not the only one. I mean, if you look at my platform, I do, I
Mm-hmm.
have, I talk about accessibility, and I also talk about my work within industrial field. That's how pretty much everything that I do. Um, I talk. One of the things that I do talk a lot about is like planetary interaction, for instance. So I mean, that's another thing that I talk about there.
Yeah, I saw your platform, and it has the things that you were like interested in advocating and stuff like that. What do you think is going to happen this next CSM? What do you think is going to? What do you think the issues are going to be that you expect to run into this next year?
Um, like, um,
Well, like I'm wondering what are you going to join the CSM and essentially be open to whatever the pathway is and just kind of help guide them as they present stuff, or is there
yeah,
something that you would expect to deal with, like sovereignty mechanics? Those are going to change, or maybe they're not. I don't know, but or like, what do you think are going to be some of the issues that CSM will be responsible for tackling this next year?
well, I think that one of the more recent things is gonna be the drilling platforms.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as far as like in general, I mean, I do have, I want to say, pretty wide range of knowledge for different things aside from, just industry. Like, I do PvP as well. I do PvE.
Mm-hmm.
I I've done, mi- I, I still do missions. I mean, my knowledge is very broad, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would be able to like also provide feedback on, just different types of issues that they present.
So the issues that are coming, you could tackle them. You could give input on them. You could give a
Mhm.
special insight to some of the issues that disabled players have as well.
Yeah.
And you would expect that drilling platforms are going to be something that comes up. And do you think that PI will be part of the drilling platform changes, or do you think they'll stay separate? I guess it's
Well,
not.
I think it'll stay separate as
Uh,
far as that, but it's definitely one of those things that needs work. Um, I think
yeah,
everybody can agree with that, that PI needs work.
I think so. Yeah. Those are kind of unfair questions because there's no way you can know what's coming, right? They don't announce what's coming. We do
Yeah,
know,
you can't.
yeah, drilling
It's a hard.
platforms.
Yeah, and there's not really much information out there. I mean, we do have. I think you're able to actually look at it on the test server now, but you can't actually play around with it yet. You can't really, you know,
Yeah,
get too much information other than the limited stuff that CCP is put out. So it's hard to say about that.
yeah. What about the? This is actually the third time you're running,
Yes, that is
and,
correct.
and you actually would have been on CSM this last round, but I believe the way the votes are counted, you when
And when
Apothme dropped out.
Apathy
Yeah.
when Apathy dropped out, it boosted his second, or the people that voted for him,
Hmm.
their second and third choices, and so I got booted out. And
So I see, and they mostly voted for him first, but mostly voted for Nash second, I believe, which makes sense. They're both at Eventi, and that allowed
yeah,
Nash to overcome you as the 14th member.
yeah, and I believe, Kyle. Kyle was also one that got bumped up because
Oh,
Apathy got dropped out.
sorry, maybe it's Kyle that I'm thinking about, but
It's Kyle. I
and
don't.
in any case,
Yeah.
you really should have been on CSM if things would have gone normally, but they didn't, and so this is now your third attempt to get on CSM.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I understand why Apathy dropped out, but
sure.
it's, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's obvious. Obviously, you got
And
to
I
do
actually,
things for.
even with him dropping out, I did come really close. I came runner up. I was number 15.
Yeah,
And if I recall, I was like less than 10 votes from uh, the next one.
and you have broad-based support, from what I understand. I mean, a lot of people that I know talk about you, and a lot of people have already committed to voting for you. Uh, but there's only 10 spots now, so it's going to be kind of dramatic for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit harder. I mean, I don't really have. I mean, I do live in Osec, but I don't. I'm not part of like the main power blocks, so I have to, still work at getting my name out there and promoting myself. I've been trying also just write to different entity, other alliances, to try to just get myself out there, get my platform out there, and just see what I can do.
Yeah.
I'm fighting for it.
Good. Well, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you again for
Good.
having me.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So the interview is over. We'll release that probably in the next day or two. And other things that you might want to do is there's a Discord for statecraft. I'm not
I'm in that already.
great. So you've done that, and then Ash.
And I'm gonna be in not this weekend, but next weekend's debate.
Yeah,
Um, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I am a part of it. It's great.
and I think Ash Dorothi is doing. I know he's doing recordings as well. Sorry.
I have okay. I haven't heard anything from Master Ralphie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he hasn't approached me at all yet, at least.
Yeah, I don't know how he's conducting it, but I know he's done a few. Maybe people, I don't know. But good luck. You're one of the to me you're one of the bigger names out there on this. Um, but with 10 slots, it starts to get more dramatic for all these other big name people too. Uh, I guess Guardians of the Galaxy would be a natural like player base for you, right? Because
We're not a part of Guardians of the Galaxy anymore.
oh, you were
Um,
okay.
and I actually, because last year, Sword had told me that I could, come to him, um, which I did. I did talk with him, but I know he's also running, so he's going to be obviously
The
the
primary
top.
ticket, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I've contacted Diplos and the CEOs for tests. I've contacted Diplos and the CEOs for PL. I've contacted